Welcome back to United Gamers Authority. I'm Shade Hunter, and today we're going over the top 10 perks that everybody needs. Let's get to it.
I implore you, please, you have to get out. You're all going to die down here.
Alrighty. Here in 7 Days to Die, you need quite a few things to survive. And to showcase this, I'm making sure that I have effectively no armor on to alter these numbers. I do have the tough guy glasses to get fortitude +1 because you're going to need it, and a cigar because, well, it's a cigar. Why not? As far as best clothing and mods, we will go over that later. I'm going to start in the category of fortitude because in perception, that's pretty much whatever you want. Strength, that's whatever you want. In fortitude, there are a few perks here that you absolutely need. The first one is pain tolerance. You want to go down this entire tree. In order to get these completely filled out, you are going to need fortitude 10. That is for the reason for the tough guy glasses. And the reason for this is because up into the Iron Chin, tier 5 of the pain tolerance perks, you get a reduced HP loss by 25%, and the big one, you have no chance to get stunned at all while fighting. It is absolutely huge, and that reduction in damage is phenomenal. Next up, we have Healing Factor. Healing Factor is very useful when trying to stay alive. Down here, the highest tier on it, tier 5, gives you gain 1 health every 5 seconds with natural healing. Plus, all your critical injuries heal twice as fast. If you do not know what a critical injury is, it is when you take some type of debuff from an enemy hitting you, whether it be bleeding, abrasion, a sprained or broken limb. Anything that adds a debuff to you is when you get critically hit. Next, you have Iron Gut. Food and drink is a must in this game to survive. That is what the blue and the green bar are down at the very bottom underneath your hotbar. The blue is water, the green is hunger. You need to maintain this throughout the game. Getting Iron Gut all the way to 5, it does quite a few different things. It reduces your food and water loss from physical exertion by 25%. You can hold your breath for 180 seconds. That's just kind of a bonus if you like swimming or building a base underwater. And your chance of dysentery is reduced by 5%. That's actually pretty huge. Also, all the buffs you consume from anything will last 50% longer. Alright, last but not least, in the fortitude tree, we have cardio. Cardio is absolutely amazing. It really helps you maintain your stamina. Gives you a stamina regen of 30% while you're sprinting. Along with many other things, along with buffs and the how long buffs last from this one, cardio is a must. Next, we dip into the agility tree. You're gonna need to get 8 points into this to be able to do this. You want the parkour perk. It is an absolute lifesaver in almost anything that you do in this game. Top tier, the parkour master. It does quite a few things. It reduces your stamina costs from jumping by 40%. It also increases your safe fall distance by 5 meters. You can jump 2 meters higher and never get a sprained or broken leg falling. That is huge. I'm going to be demonstrating that here in a minute. Last but not least of the actual perk tree items, you are going to want to dip into Intellect for 8 points and grab Physician. This gives you the third perk in the Physician tree, or treated critical injuries heal 50% faster. Medical healing items will heal 100% more health over time. You also gain XP for using bandages, first aid bandages, and first aid kits and splints. So, helps you level up a little bit more. That will go along nicely with another one. Then we're going to jump into the books. There are some books in here that are, I would say, mandatory for every build. All of these perks, I would say, need to be in every build in this game because of how powerful they can be. If you check out my Berserker build video, also the couple of streams ago, I actually showed how all of this can work together, and it's absolutely amazing. So under the perks, first up, you want Art of Mining 1, and one book in Art of Mining, and that's Art of Mining Book 5, and that crafts basic resources like ore and into compact stacks. What that's going to do is that's going to allow you to, well, right here you see that I am encumbered by 10 because I've got all this stone on here. So what you want to do is you want to just make sure after you get that book, you take this stack of small stone here and you just craft it up. And instantly it takes it all away and starts crafting it. It takes a little bit of time, but then you can take something else you're carrying, move it off of there, and then you're no longer encumbered and moving slow. So you can continue to clear POIs, to do more quests. It's just one of those things that's a quality of life that everybody needs. Next up, Hunter's Journal. This is like a nod here. I've got a few nods that really are a high suggestion, but not needed. But this one book will make your life a whole lot easier going through this game. And it is book 7 of the Hunter's Journal. You do 10% more damage to humans and zombies. Now, this could go for either the PvPers or the PvEers. Because it increases your damage to zombies, you will be able to kill them faster and survive longer. Next up, we have Night Stalker. Because we have Horde Nights, you are going to be fighting at night. A lot of us actually fight at night anyway. It's Night Stalker number 6. This is going to help you level up faster and gain those points to be able to put them in places to help you survive. I really think that this is an absolute must in all builds. So you gain that extra XP while you're going through Horde Night. And there's items that can help increase that as well. And last but not least of our list, we have Urban Combat. There's 2 in this list that are absolutely mandatory because there are so many POIs that have landmines that sometimes you don't see. I am very meticulous when I go through POIs, but sometimes I just don't see the landmines. And if everybody has book 5, nobody's going to be setting off landmines. Next is number 6 in Urban Combat. Armor doesn't slow you down when in combat. That one is absolutely fantastic. No matter what your build, no matter whether it's heavy armor or light armor, this book keeps you moving at top speed and top maneuverability when you're in combat. That way, you have a better chance of survival. On to the honorable mentions of this. We have a few books here. The Fireman's Almanac, I would highly suggest you actually get the entire book set. The reason for that is the bonus for all the books is you can sprint longer and never be encumbered while you're in a burnt forest or wasteland. So never being encumbered, absolutely phenomenal. And in an entire zone is amazing, no matter what, if it's day or night. And next up, I would actually suggest you just get all of the Hunter Journal books, because if nothing else, if you look at the Hunter Journal books, they give 10% more damage to pretty much everything. Plus, it's a bonus that when you have all 7 of them, you harvest more bones, meat, and leather. Next one up, we have the Lucky Looter. This one is a Horde Night player dream. Okay, on Horde Nights, this is going to be nuts because of the bonus that it gives. On Horde Nights, this will be huge. Enemies have a higher chance to drop loot. In those loot bags, I find so much brass and lead and ammunition. It's ridiculous. Last but not least, we have a few down here at the bottom that I would suggest. Art of Mining, Volume 4. This is going to give you the ability to make the Blackstrap coffee. The Magnum Enforcer, if you like to do trading a lot, the Magnum Enforcer goes really great with the cigar and gives you better deals. You get more money when selling and you buy for cheaper. Next one that is highly recommended is the Needle and Thread 7, which gives you the ability to craft the clothing double pocket mods. Because with all the different mods you have, you can actually not use the perk Pack Mule at all. Next up, we have Wasteland Treasures Volume 4. This is going to give you the ability to craft purified water. That's this stuff right here, the pure mineral water. It is phenomenal. Next up, Night Stalker Volume 4. This one goes along with the bonus from the Fireman's Almanac, along with a few other things. Never be encumbered at night. Next, I would highly recommend it goes along with the parkour perk, the Adrenaline Fall. When you have 5,000 or more dukes on you, you can fall up to 15 meters without taking damage. Then that stacks on top of everything else. It's crazy. Next up, if you're a sneaky person, you like stalking around at night, you definitely want the stealthy sprinting, because normally, when you're sneaking around, you use stamina. With that book, Sprint Sneaking, or Sneak Sprinting, you won't use any stamina. So you can use all of your other stamina to do anything else. Very useful. Next up, Fear is absolutely phenomenal in this game. It gives you a buff on stamina regen, your brawling damage. Even if you do not use brawling, you can still use it if you're a melee fighter. Because you have the stamina regen, and you have the stun resist, which, if you have the pain tolerance, that doesn't matter. But that stamina regen, 40%, it's phenomenal. It's better than anything else that I can see. And that's it. So, how does parkour help you? I am at, down here, elevation plus 61. At the very top of that, that's almost disappearing in the distance, is elevation 141. If you jumped off of that with no perks or anything, you would die. Now, as I'm going to show, I do not have anything on my feet other than these wraps. So, turned off God mode, nothing on me. I have the parkour perk and the Great Heist book, All Great Distance, and I have my dukes in my pocket. Now, what's going to come into play after is the perks in the Fortitude tree under healing factor. I'm also not going to take a critical injury. This is not going to break a limb because of parkour that you never sprain or break a leg when falling. And this is pretty tall. 141, same height as Deshong Tower. And you fall. And you survive. Down to 52 health, but then it starts ticking up. 1 health every 5 seconds. That's phenomenal. Normally, the first aid kits are just a one-time heal, but when you use these, they will heal more over time. So if you notice, it says 180, but it goes up over 300. So you can use these first aid kits like crazy, especially on Horde Night if you're a melee fighter in Horde Night. Thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate it. If any of this was remotely helpful, please hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to help out the channel, there's a link in the description for our Patreon. You could also become a member through YouTube, and each level will give you access to our Discord, and depending on the level, will give you access to any number of 1 or 5 of our servers. We've got a lot of different servers. We got a Valheim server, a 7-day server, Conan servers. We've got a lot of servers, and it's just a way that gets us the ability to pay for those servers. Hope to see you on the inside. Catch you on the flip side. Later.
I implore you. Please, please, you have to get out. You're all going to die down here.